Lin Moyu checked each piece of information on the panel in detail, including the explanation behind it. The level and soul in it can be seen at a glance. He is indeed only the first level of Super God, and his soul has reached the peak of the third rank, which is only a slight distance away from the fourth rank. The soul quality of the third rank is the basis for becoming a God King. This is what Antares told him. But it becomes more detailed in the explanation of the panel. In the explanation, according to the quality of Lin Moyu's soul, he directly told Lin Moyu that his current limit is the 9th rank of God King. In this way, it becomes more intuitive. As for the column of potential evaluation, it also explains what the legendary level is like. Normal is divided into 4 grades: poor, good, excellent and extremely good. The legendary level is not included in the ordinary classification, and it will be defined as the legendary level if it exceeds the extreme level. The legendary level is not a specific level, it just shows that some legendary characters, such as God of War Xiao Zhangshan, their potential can be evaluated as a legendary level. But not all those rated as legendary can become characters like Xiao Zhangshan. This is just an evaluation, not an established fact. After reading it, Lin Moyu smiled. Evaluation is just an evaluation, and the final step you can take depends on your own efforts and various opportunities in the process. However, those who can get legendary ratings are all geniuses. Lin Moyu directly chose to hide this. This information does not need to be seen by others. Then there's his authority. No matter in the Renwang network or the real world, everyone in the human race has corresponding permissions. Everyone can only do what is within their authority. When Lin Moyu first came to the human race world, he was level 1, and he could only move in his own galaxy, and could not leave his own galaxy. The same is true in Renwang network. If you want to leave the galaxy, you need to increase your authority, and you can leave the galaxy when you reach the 2nd level. It can be active in several nearby galaxies, and the specific range has corresponding regulations. As the level increases and various tasks are completed, while earning points, the authority will also be promoted accordingly. Permissions are linked to points in a sense, but not completely related. Lin Moyu was rewarded with 1,000 points because of his legendary evaluation in the assessment, which also raised his authority to the 2nd level. Lin Moyu fully understands this. The same is true of the military merit system in the small world. The initial military achievements can actually be done, but once you reach the general level, you can't do it anymore. You need to personally kill a strong man who is equivalent to the god level to get the general star. And the highest authority belongs only to the generals. The same is true for points. After the points reach a certain level, the authority will not be improved. Contributions to Terran are required to continue to elevate privileges. This information cannot be hidden, everyone can see it. Comprehensive strength is the comprehensive evaluation given by Renwang Network based on the assessment results. It is not completely accurate and should be used as a reference only. The role of points is already very clear. Without points, it is difficult to move an inch, whether it is the real world or the virtual world of Renwang Network. In the end, it is the law under one's own control. Apparently, Renwang Network did not recognize the law of immortality, and mistakenly took the law of immortality as the law of death. The two are indeed alike. Lin Moyu has not shown the living side of the law of immortality, otherwise there may be one more law in the law of control, the law of life. In the end, Lin Moyu only chose to reveal his name, rank and authority that cannot be hidden. All other information is hidden. In the eyes of outsiders, Lin Moyu's information becomes very brief. Lin Moyu. Level, Super God Level 1. Highest authority, Level 2. Lin Moyu didn't know that, in fact, most people do this. The door of the examination room was opened, because the golden light outside the door had disappeared. As soon as Lin Moyu came out, he received strange looks from everyone. You finally came out. Boy, what are you doing in there? You can go in for a whole day. Did you fall asleep in there? Are you really waiting? A series of questions were thrown. Lin Moyu frowned slightly, and did not speak. At this moment, Gu Qingxuan snorted softly, "Shut up, you forgot the rules of the God of War Temple." All of a sudden, everyone shut their mouths. Do not ask the assessor anything about the assessment. This is one of the rules of the Temple of War God. Sheng Gaoxuan said casually, "Ask what's wrong, he can choose not to answer, and we didn't force him, so it's not a violation of the rules." Gu Qingxuan responded immediately, "You shouldn't have asked." Sheng Gaoxuan sneered, "My mouth is on me, I can ask whatever I want." For the sake of you being a woman, I won't argue with you today. Lin Moyu took a deep look at Sheng Gaoxuan, remembering his appearance. Sheng Gaoxuan frowned. Boy, I don't like the look in your eyes. Lin Moyu said lightly, I don't like your mouth either. Remember that misfortune comes from your mouth. From now on, talk less and do more. Are you teaching me a lesson? Sheng Gaoxuan clenched his fists, and there were laws faintly visible on the fists. Gu Qingxuan sneered, do you dare to fight in the Temple of War God? Sheng Gaoxuan seemed to have thought of something, and then let go of his clenched fists, with a smile on his face again. How is it possible? I dare not break the rules of the Temple of War. It's good to know, let's go. Gu Qingxuan took Lin Moyu and left quickly. As soon as he left the Temple of War God, he directly activated the teleportation array and returned to life star number 98-1. Before leaving the Temple of War God, Lin Moyu met Luo Lao again, and the two greeted Luo Lao. For some reason, Lin Moyu felt that Mr. Luo looked at him in a different way. It seems to be the eyes of an elder looking at the superior junior, with a bit of kindness. On the life star, hands are also not allowed. If there is a grievance to be resolved, it can be resolved in the arena of Renwang Network. If you do something in the real world, it is a violation of the rules of the human race and you will be punished accordingly. Moreover, Renwang Network borders reality and virtuality, and any violation of regulations cannot escape the surveillance of Renwang Network. Gu Qingxuan took Lin Moyu into a special room. This kind of room is called a mission room. There are many mission rooms on LifeStar, which are specially prepared for those who want to enter the Renwang Network. Each opening requires 1 point, and you can stay in it for 100 days, which can be said to be very cheap. Yu Qingxuan paid 1 point, entered the task room with Lin Moyu, and then entered the Renwang Network together. After entering Renwang Network, Gu Qingxuan hesitated for a long time, and finally asked, is your evaluation really top-notch? After asking, she quickly added, I didn't mean to ask, I just asked, you don't have to answer. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, and disclosed, Nuo Qian Zhao, his potential evaluation information, you can see for yourself. Gu Qingxuan checked Lin Moyu's information, and couldn't help exclaiming, legend. Lin Moyu hid the information again, well, legend. Gu Qingxuan asked strangely, what is the evaluation of the legend? Why haven't I heard of it? Only then did Lin Moyu know that the explanation behind each item is different from person to person. Only when you reach the corresponding level will you see the corresponding explanation. Gu Qingxuan's potential has not reached the legendary level, so she doesn't know that there is a legendary level. Lin Moyu immediately realized that this was information blockade. It used to be like this in the small world, and it was also like this in Antares, and it is still like this in the big world. What kind of level? You know what kind of information. You don't have to know what you shouldn't know. Lin Moyu explained, the legendary level is actually an evaluation above the extreme level, and has no specific role. Gu Qingxuan snorted, and suddenly she saw Lin Moyu's authority again, and exclaimed again, how come your authority has reached level 2? Gu Qingxuan's expression was filled with surprise and disbelief. In the Renwang Network, all expressions can be displayed, lifelike, just like the real world. Lin Moyu was a little puzzled, what's wrong? Gu Qingxuan said, do you know that it is very difficult to elevate the authority? I have suffered a lot in order to elevate the authority from the first level to the second level. Lin Moyu doesn't think that after completing the assessment, he will be promoted. Isn't the authority linked to the points at the beginning? As long as the points reach, the authority will go up. Gu Qingxuan rolled her eyes at Lin Moyu. On her usually cold face, there was a kind of beauty in all kinds of styles at this moment. It's not as easy as you think. If you want to use points to increase your authority, you must earn them yourself, and only the points earned by doing tasks are valid. It's useless to trade your points like others. Your assessment is also one of your quests, which is a newcomer quest. It's just that you haven't gone to the quest center yet, and the quest system hasn't been activated yet, so you can't see it. Through Gu Qingxuan's explanation, Lin Moyu understood. After I registered, I was accepted by the human race and obtained the qualification to enter the Human Emperor's network. At the same time, it also started the first task belonging to the rookie, conducting potential assessment. Depending on the evaluation results, different rewards will be obtained. Poor, good, excellent, excellent, fourth, etc. Only excellent and extremely can get rewards. You can get 10 points for excellent, and 100 points for extreme. But neither is enough to allow privilege escalation. To upgrade from the first level authority to the second level authority, 1000 points are required, and the 1000 points must be obtained from the task. Points obtained through other means are useless. Lin Moyu evaluated it as a legend, and got a reward of 1000 points, and his authority was naturally upgraded from the first level to the second level. Lin Moyu faintly felt that the point authority system of the human race was far more complicated than he thought. There are still many things that need to be understood and explored by yourself. Gu Qingxuan said quietly, at that time, I got an extremely high evaluation and got 100 points. Then, in order to raise the authority to the second level, I did a lot of tasks and suffered a lot. How can it be as easy as you will reach the second level all at once? Gu Qingxuan asked casually with envy, are you really only 28 years old? Lin Moyu nodded, almost, actually I don't remember very well. Gu Qingxuan looked at Lin Moyu, crystal stars can't be wrong, you are 28 years old for sure, I just want to ask, ACDE, the people in your small world are all as talented as you are? Lin Moyu shook his head, I'm a special case. Gu Qingxuan was very sensible and did not continue to ask. If you continue to ask, it may involve some secrets of Lin Moyu. The two came to the mission center, where they could obtain various missions. After completion, you can get customer rewards. Some rewards are virtual and can be obtained directly through Renwang Network. Some rewards are real objects. After completing the task, a special person will send the reward to you. The mission center was very lively and full of people. Renwang Network is a virtual world, although all the data size is equal to the real world, but some things are still different. In the mission center, the space has been greatly expanded. It is not a problem to accommodate millions of people inside. If it is an ordinary person, it may take a year and a half to walk from one end of the mission center to the other. Gu Qingxuan said, in the big world, the lowest entry threshold for the mission center is the first level authority, and the lowest access threshold for the first level authority is the super god level. So those who can enter the mission center are at least at the super god level. You are now at the second level of authority, and you can already operate in 10 nearby galaxies. When you reach the third level of authority, you can operate in 100 nearby star fields. Permissions not only define the area of activity, but also limit the tasks that can be accepted. You can only accept tasks within your own area of activity, and the difficulty of the task must be comparable to the level of authority. Lin Moyu is aware of one thing, authority estimates can also represent a person's strength to a certain extent. The higher the authority, the stronger the strength. In the mission center, there are no empty mission tables anywhere. Whether you want to accept tasks or submit tasks, you only need to operate on the task table. There is no need for manual intervention in the whole process. Renwang Network will handle all problems. Since Lin Moyu entered the big world, he entered the territory of the human race. The feeling given to him by the human race is to practice, and keep practicing to become stronger. Only by constantly practicing and becoming stronger can the human race survive in this cruel world. Renwang Network, the various settings in the real world, most of them exist to become stronger. Gu Qingxuan came to a task table, started to operate, and explained to Lin Moyu at the same time, the operation here can be done with the mind. Now I have level 3 authority. When I upgrade to level 4 authority, I can hand over tasks anytime and anywhere. I don't need to go to the mission center every time. It is indeed much more convenient to be able to hand over tasks anytime, anywhere. Gu Qingxuan handed in the task, and at the same time breathed a long sigh of relief. Okay, this part of the task is finally completed. What she has accepted is a series of missions, and picking up Lin Moyu is only one part of the mission, and there are other tasks to be done in the follow-up. This task is related to whether his authority can be improved, and it is very important to enter the City of God. It's your turn next, you can see if there is a task that suits you. Gu Qingxuan gave up the workbench and signaled Lin Moyu to operate it. When Lin Moyu's consciousness was connected to the mission table, a picture appeared in front of his eyes, which firstly showed some basic information about Lin Moyu. It is very similar to Lin Moyu's own panel, with little difference. This kind of picture can only be seen by oneself, and outsiders cannot peep. Gu Qingxuan explained to Lin Moyu how to hand over the task. The process was not complicated, and Lin Moyu quickly mastered it. Now his authority is level 2, and the range of activities is 10 nearby living galaxies, as well as some non-living galaxies. There are not many tasks that can be received, and they are all tasks suitable for the current level. Secret Place. Lin Moyu saw a task called Raiders, number 97 Meteor Secret Realm, from the task. In the big world, there are still secret realms. Is it possible to kill monsters and upgrade in the big world? Lin Moyu felt that there was something wrong with his understanding. What is the secret realm? Gu Qingxuan explained, in the big world, there are many mysterious places in many places. These mysterious places are often very dangerous, but there are also some treasures. After the strong crack the mysterious places, the data will be recorded and entered into the Imperial Network, and then people will form a corresponding secret realm from the network. The secret land is virtual, and you can get the same experience as the mysterious land in it. Although there will be no treasures to be obtained in the end, there will be no danger, and some reward points can also be obtained. And most importantly, it can make you familiar with some dangers in the big world, so that you won't be at a loss when you encounter them in the future. The secret realm in Renwang's network is completely different from the secret realm in the small world. It is impossible to upgrade by killing monsters, just to increase knowledge, in case of danger in the future, know how to deal with it. In the big world, how to deal with various dangers is very important, and often determines the final life and death. It has to be said that it is a very good way of training. Gu Qingxuan reminded, there are not many missions in the secret realm. If you see them, take them, it will be beneficial. Lin Moyu hummed, not only can the secret realm help him get acquainted with the big world, but it will not be dangerous. Most importantly, once completed, there will be rewards. It would be a fool not to accept this kind of task that has all benefits but no harm. Lin Moyu took over the task of clearing the number 97 Meteor Secret Realm. After completion, you can get a reward of 50 points. And it is also specially marked at the end of the task. If the task is completed well, you can get additional rewards. The location of number 97 Meteor Secret Realm is clearly shown in the mission, and number 97 represents number 97 Life Galaxy. Its location is near the 98th class living galaxy, and the distance is about 3 light years. Converted into kilometers, it is 30 trillion kilometers miles. The big world is too big to express distance in kilometers. Generally, the distance between galaxies is expressed in light years. 1 light year is the distance traveled by light in 1 year. At the speed of light, it can travel 10 trillion kilometers per year. It is normal for 2 galaxies to be separated by a few light years, or even tens of light years. Galaxy number 98 and galaxy number 97 are about light years apart. If he flies with all his strength, it is still a question whether he can fly in this life. He thought of the god-killing fortress that Antares must let him take away. In addition to killing the enemy, the Jushan fortress can also be used as a means of transportation. Apparently, there were things in the god-killing fortress that he didn't understand. *3 light years, really far enough, Lin Moyu murmured. Gu Qingxuan's voice came from next to my ear. It's only 3 light years, not too far away. You can send it directly through Renwang's network, and the cost is only 1 point. No matter in reality or in Renwang network, it can be transmitted. In reality, teleportation is required, and teleportation arrays are used. The Renwang network is more convenient, and can be transmitted at any time. Both have to pay a fee. Within a range of 10 light years, the transmission fee is unified as 1 point. If Lin Moyu fails the mission, he will only lose 1 point. Lin Moyu realized that the spending power of points is considerable. It can be seen that Gu Qingxuan spent 100 points in order to allow herself to accept the baptism of the best big world legal test, which is really a lot of money. Gu Qingxuan said, okay, my escort mission is over, the rest is up to you. I'm going to go to the next task, let's see each other by fate. Lin Moyu sincerely saluted Gu Qingxuan slightly. Thank you, senior sister, I wish senior sister Gu to enter the city of God as soon as possible. Gu Qingxuan accepted it calmly. You're welcome, you also work hard, with your talent, you have a great chance of entering the city of God. The two have already left their contact information on Renwang's network, and they can contact each other at any time. And the higher Lin Moyu's achievements in the future, it will still be beneficial to Gu Qingxuan. Gu Qingxuan's figure gradually faded away, and she left Renwang's network. Lin Moyu collected his mind and continued to study the task system. After accepting the task, the corresponding task panel appeared in front of you. There are tasks that I have accepted that are still in progress, as well as tasks that have been completed, as well as the rewards I got from the tasks. Each item is clearly divided. Renwang Network has detailed explanations for each item, and also said a lot of points to pay attention to in the task. Every task, for everyone, is a one-off. A task that has been completed before cannot be done again. This cuts off the possibility of earning points by repeatedly doing the same task. After Lin Moyu did some research, he has almost finished researching the task system. The rest is practice. Only by experiencing it personally can we know what is going on. Just like the dungeon in the small world, if you haven't entered it yourself, you will never know what's going on in the dungeon. He also wanted to see what the secret realm in the big world was like. Lin Moyu glanced over and saw that there were many people in the mission center, some of whom he had seen before, and they were the same group of super gods who registered with him. They are also receiving tasks. Lin Moyu glanced at him, but did not go up to communicate. His consciousness moved slightly, teleport to the entrance of 97 Meteor Secret Realm. 1 point was deducted. Lin Moyu's consciousness instantly crossed the starry sky, and flew away towards the destination. On the flying boat of Lord Yifeng, there was a faint fragrance of tea. Yifeng Shenjun drank alone, his eyes fell on the starry sky outside, and he seemed to see infinitely far away. Gu Qingxuan came back with a smile. Master, I'm back. Yifeng Shenjun smiled slightly. It seems that Xiaoyu's grades are very good. It can be seen from the expression that Lin Moyu should have achieved quite good results. Otherwise, Gu Qingxuan would not be so happy. Gu Qingxuan said, it was unexpectedly good. It was not in vain. I used 100 points to rent a training room in the Temple of War God for him. Yifeng Shenjun nodded. The points that should be spent should be spent. The practice room in the Temple of War God is affected by the power of the star array, which can make the baptism of the laws of the big world more thorough, and make the success rate of transferring talents higher. Ask for flowers. In Yifeng Shenjun's thinking, people who came out of the small world basically had no talent for transferring. 100 points of investment, no loss. Gu Qingxuan sat in front of Yifeng Shenzun, and poured tea for Yifeng Shenzun. Master, guess what the score that junior brother Lin got in the end? Yifeng Shenjun chuckled. Is there still a need to guess? The answer is written on your face, at least it is an extremely low grade. Gu Qingxuan shook her head. Master, guess again. Yifeng Shenjun was slightly surprised. Is it the same as Qingxuan? At that time, Gu Qingxuan's grades were extremely high, and she already belonged to the category of geniuses. A talent like Gu Qingxuan is 1 in a million. Gu Qingxuan shook her head. Although I don't want to admit it, in fact junior brother Lin is better than me. Extremely superior. Yifeng Shenjun's eyes were shining. If it wasn't extremely superior, then only the top of the extreme, extremely superior. This kind of talent is extremely rare. Even the entire Suzaku star field, with hundreds of millions of people, is not much. Gu Qingxuan still shook her head. Junior brother Lin is not the best, but a legend. What? Yifeng Shenjun was stunned on the spot, showing disbelief. Yifeng Shenjun's expression gradually became serious, and he said in a deep voice, this son's future is limitless. Gu Qingxuan was a little puzzled. Is the legend's evaluation very good? It's not very powerful, but it's impossible to judge the limit, so I gave legend this evaluation. Gu Qingxuan's heart trembled at the words of Lord Yifeng. It is impossible to judge the limit. Even Renwang Network cannot judge the limit. How strong is that potential? Lord Yifeng exhorted. When Qingxuan sees Xiaoyu in the future, he still needs to maintain a good relationship and not be an enemy. Gu Qingxuan smiled and said, Master, don't worry, junior brother Lin is a nice person, and he can talk to me. That's good. With a distance of 3 light years, it took 3 seconds in Renwang's network to transmit at a speed of 1 light year per second, and Lin Moyu came to the entrance of the secret realm. There are a lot of voices coming from the ear, and the entrance to the secret realm is very lively. All the strong human races in more than a dozen nearby life galaxies can accept this task. As a result, the entrance to 97 Meteor Secret Realm is overcrowded almost all the time. Lin Moyu looked over from a distance and saw several meteors flying out of the secret realm and disappearing into the dark deep space. The 97 Meteor Secret Realm is located in the starry sky of the big world, and it looks like a ball of gorgeous light. This ball of light is as high as 10,000 meters, constantly changing in the void, and at the same time reflecting the light from the stars. It is very beautiful. Everything in the big world seems big. The stars are huge, the space is huge, the world is huge, the strength gap is huge, and even the entrance to the secret realm is huge. Lin Moyu knew that the entrance to the secret realm seen on Renwang's network was actually exactly the same as in reality. Even its location is exactly the same. Renwang network is a one-to-one restoration of the real world. This can be regarded as a virtual reality world. The number 97 represents that the secret realm belongs to the 97 Life Galaxy. Meteor Secret Realm is its name. Just 10 minutes after Lin Moyu arrived, a shooting star was seen flying out of the secret place. The Meteor Secret Realm also got its name from this. Looking at so many people, Lin Moyu gave a feeling of returning to the dungeon palace. There are also many people at the entrance of the dungeon hall all the time, yelling to form a team to brush the dungeon. However, it seems that there is no such thing as team formation in the big world. Squads do exist, but it's not like spawning copies of small worlds. Lin Moyu listened here for a while, and finally understood why there are so many people here. There are quite a few people who failed to conquer the secret realm, but left willingly. They will try again and again. It doesn't cost any money to try again and again. As long as you want to go in, you can go in any time. But it is not unlimited, everyone has 10 chances. After 10 failures, you can continue to enter the secret realm, and you will not be charged any fees. It's just that the task has failed, and you won't get any rewards if you pass it all the time. The people here are basically from the 3rd level to the 5th level of super gods. There are no super gods above the 6th level, and there are very, very few super gods below the 3rd level. After all, to accept this task, at least level 2 authority is required. It is almost impossible for a 1st level super god to reach the 2nd level authority. After completing a series of tasks and raising the authority to the 2nd level, most of the levels have already been raised. A super god like Lin Moyu who can have a 2nd level authority at the 1st level is definitely a different kind. But there are too many people here, the atmosphere is messy, and no one came to check Lin Moyu's level. They all exchanged their experience in the secret realm and the points to pay attention to. Lin Moyu listened around and found that there was not much reference value. The main reason is that I have never entered the secret realm, and I don't know the specific situation inside. Talking on paper is useless. Lin Moyu jumped over the crowd and flew into the secret realm. There were quite a few people coming and going in and out of the secret realm, but someone still noticed Lin Moyu. Hey, the person who went in just now is only a super god. Impossible, how could the First Order super god receive this task? I've seen it too, it's indeed the First Order super god. That is, the 2nd level task requires the 2nd level authority. How can the First Order super god have the 2nd level authority? Maybe they are slow in leveling, or they haven't leveled at all, so they raised their authority first. It's also impossible. If you want to increase your authority, you need to do tasks. In the process of doing tasks, your level will always be improved. That's weird. Everyone, you and I can't stop talking. Originally they were still discussing the situation in the secret realm, but now they changed the subject of discussion to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's 1st level super god has a 2nd level authority, which has aroused everyone's interest. No one doubts the fairness of Renwang network, and there is no shortcut to the promotion of authority. It's the same even if there are some powerful elders behind you. After discussing for a long time, we couldn't discuss why. Everyone planned to wait for Lin Moyu to come out and ask questions. In the secret realm, it seems to have entered another world. The place is full of radiance, and above the earth, it seems to be shrouded in a halo. In the sky, meteors continued to streak across. Meteors don't fall, they just fly in the air, fly to the distant sky, and disappear. Lin Moyu saw a hole in the sky, like a big hole in the sky. That is where he came in, and it is the connection point between the secret realm and the big world. If a meteor falls into the hole, it will leave the secret realm and disappear into the boundless starry sky of the big world. Lin Moyu was walking alone in the secret realm, his thoughts were racing. The secret realm in the big world is essentially the same as the copy secret realm in the small world. The 2nd level tasks are all faced with people below the super god level. Super god realm is relatively strong compared to ordinary people, but for the real strong, it is just cannon fodder. It is estimated that the King of Gods is the backbone of the great world. But what's the use of the God King level? Even if an invincible powerhouse meets that person, he can still be wiped out with a wave of his hand. No, I was wrong, very wrong. Lin Moyu is analyzing the composition of the big world day by day based on the information he has so far. In the big world, below the super god level is the category of ordinary people. Even half-step super gods are not eligible to obtain authority, and are not eligible to enter the Renwang network. Only those who have reached the super god realm can be regarded as true cultivators. And this is only the bottom layer. As Lin Moyu said, not even cannon fodder. Cannon fodder also needs combat power. In the face of a god king or even a god venerable, what is the use of such cannon fodder that can kill thousands of super gods with a wave of his hand? Lin Moyu feels that if there is a big war, the god king class is the real main combat power. It's wrong to think about it. He realized that the big world war. A true strong man can destroy stars and shatter galaxies with a wave of his hand. In a real war between races, the victory or defeat actually depends on the top combat power. Only the truly top few are the key to the survival of the race. And everything the human race has done, all the settings, authority settings, mission system, and human emperor network. Even the central god city that everyone yearns for, the human race god road. It is all to cultivate the real strongest among countless people. The strongest are the races that can stand firm in the big world. The human race once produced an invincible strong man like Xiao Zhangshan, who single-handedly saved the human race from fire and water. This is what the human race really needs. The human race occupies a vast star field and has an infinite population, just to increase the chance of invincible powerhouses appearing. Lin Moyu felt that he had finally seen the true intentions of the higher-ups of the human race. A lot of ants bite to death, and this kind of thing can only happen when the strength is not much different. No matter how many ants there are, they cannot kill Shenlong. And Shenlong only needs one breath to kill hundreds of millions of ants. To become stronger, we must become stronger. Exceed the invincible strong, reach, even surpass that person. Lin Moyu thought in his heart, clenched his fists involuntarily. His goal is no longer the invincible strong man, but the old man riding the green bull. Since the battle of the primordial secret realm, the figure of the old man has taken root thoroughly. Suddenly, a meteor stopped in the sky. The meteor that was speeding stopped abruptly, and then fell towards Lin Moyu quickly. The speed was so fast that it reached the top of Lin Moyu's head in an instant. With a warning in his heart, Lin Moyu suddenly raised his head and punched out at the same time. Boom! His body trembled violently, the ground under his feet cracked instantly, and a huge crater of 100 meters appeared. Lin Moyu fell into the pit, and the meteor flew backwards in response. Lin Moyu is not good at pure power attack, but it doesn't mean his power is weak. In fact, in the super god realm, the strength will not be too weak. It's just that it can't be compared with those races with divine power. Nor can it be compared with a person who possesses the laws of physics. The meteor was blasted thousands of meters, but flew back quickly, and the momentum was faster than before. A skeleton god warrior appeared in front of him, and directly struck the meteor with an axe. The meteor was blown away again, but Lin Moyu found that the meteor was not damaged at all, and the degree of sturdiness was amazing. This meteor is actually a round ball about 3 meters in diameter. A bright streamer is flying in the air. After being split by the skull god warrior, the meteor circled in the air and flew down again. The momentum was stronger than before. The skeleton god warrior chopped it away with another axe. The meteor was still completely intact, turned a corner in the air, and flew back again. The meteor that flew for the third time became much bigger and stronger than before. Lin Moyu squinted his eyes, and sure enough, he absorbed the attack. Quote, meteor absorbed his own punch and later absorbed the attack of the skeleton god warrior. Then integrate your own power, so it becomes stronger every time. Absorbing one's own attack and then counterattacking back, is exactly the same as what Lin Moyu heard outside the secret. The law flickers on the meteor, it is this law that takes the foreign attack into its own. In this way, as long as the opponent's laws cannot be broken, meteor will become stronger and stronger, until it exceeds his own tolerance limit. Lin Moyu immediately thought of the countermeasures. In fact, before entering the secret realm, he had already heard these two methods from other people. Now under the confirmation, what I saw was indeed the same as what I heard. The first is to find a way to break the rules. The second is to reach the limit that the meteor can bear, and then it will explode by itself. But from the conversation with others just now, Lin Moyu also learned that the size of meteors is different, and the law is strong and weak. To break him, the strength required is different. The flow hit again yesterday, and the skeleton god fighters continued to attack. The skeleton warrior blasted meteors away again and again, and the meteors flew back again and again, becoming stronger constantly. Until the skeleton god warrior was unable to blow up the meteor, but was hit by the meteor and retreated. The attack power of the skeleton god warrior, without the blessing of the Lich General, is the first level of super god. After hitting the meteor several times in a row, the diameter of the meteor has exceeded 5 meters. The impact force also surpassed the first level of super god. Lin Moyu summoned the Lich General to give bonuses to the skeleton warriors. The attack power of the skeleton god warrior immediately reached the second level of super god. The meteor was blasted away again. But it was still intact, turned around, and flew back with a long beam of light. More power, more speed. Another few shooting stars flew in a row, and the power of the shooting stars reached the third level of super god. Lin Moyu summoned the Death Knight, which is stronger than the skeleton warrior. Its appearance blasted the meteor again, but it still couldn't hurt the meteor. Lin Moyu felt the law on the meteor. The law is not strong, but the effect is very magical. In experiments again and again, he constantly absorbs external attacks and transforms them into his own strength. See where your limit is. Tap your finger, and a skeleton god will appear in the secret realm. The skeleton god will be Lin Moyu's strongest summon, even stronger than the Death Dragon Knight. After it has been blessed in various states, its attack power can reach the 5th level of super god. The skeleton god will raise his long sword, and a sharp sword energy will instantly split the meteor into 2. The law on the meteor shattered and was split in half. The opening is so smooth that it doesn't need to be polished to make a mirror. Lin Moyu looked at the meteor and found that the texture of the meteor is very ordinary, which is the most basic copper and iron. It is mainly because of the existence of that law that meteor is difficult to deal with. In the beginning, there were only meteors of the first level of super gods, and the power of the 5th level of super gods was needed to break them. There are 5 levels of intensity. If there was a meteor of the 3rd level of the super god in the beginning, wouldn't it take the 8th level of the super god to break it? This secret realm is placed in the 2nd level authority, and most of the people with the 2nd level authority are the 3rd to 5th levels of super gods. It will definitely not require such a powerful force to break through. There must be other ways. Lin Moyu was thinking about moving on. He felt that smashing the meteor with brute force was not the best way. This is why many people fail. The correct method should be to disintegrate the laws on the meteor. To disintegrate the law, you can only use the law. Use stronger laws to deal with the laws on the meteor. The law on the meteor is actually not strong. While walking, another meteor fell from the sky and locked on Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu didn't attack this time and directly popped up the 10 rules. The law of immortality fell on the meteor, instantly bursting out the power of decaying death. Before meteor had time to absorb the power, its own laws had already collapsed. So simple. Lin Moyu frowned. The simplicity was beyond his expectation. But if it's that simple, how can those people who are at the 3rd and 5th levels of super gods have trouble making it through? There must be problems that I don't know about. Lin Moyu gradually walked deeper into the secret realm. This secret realm is very simple. There is only one way. He just needs to follow the direction of the meteor flying in the sky. More and more meteors fell, and he easily solved them with the law of immortality. But Lin Moyu also gradually discovered that as he entered the depths of the secret realm, the falling meteors became stronger and stronger. He's already starting to feel the pressure. The law on the meteor has begun to devour the law of undead. Although it has not yet reached the point of using the law of devouring to enhance itself, the effect of the law of immortality has also been greatly weakened. The law of immortality once is not enough to destroy the law on the meteor, it needs 2 or 3 times. Finally, the law of immortality lost its effect. Although the meteor cannot absorb the power of the law of immortality, the law of immortality cannot destroy the law of the meteor. The two maintain a weird balance. Lin Moyu knows how strong his law of immortality is. Although he only has the 1st level of super god, he only has 2% control over the law of immortality. But relying on the power of the law of immortality itself, Lin Moyu's control rate of 2% is comparable to the law controlled by the 4th order super god. At the level of super gods, every time one level is raised, the comprehension of the law will increase by 1%. Always increase the degree of control of the law to 10%, that is, the 9th level of super god. Lin Moyu is the 1st order super god, and the control degree of the law is 2%. The mastery of the laws of the fourth level of Super God is 5%. Lin Moyu is very clear that his 2% control of the laws can be compared to the 5% or even 6% control of the elemental laws. This is the level gap of the law. Most of the elemental laws belong to the laws of the third echelon. And the vast majority of super gods control the elemental laws of the third echelon. However, the law of immortality, which Antares considers to be the first echelon law, is not weaker than the law of time or the law of space. It is normal to be several times better than the third echelon rule. At that time in the small world, Antares had already confirmed this. In the big world, the strength of the law of immortality was proved even more in the assessment. Today, the law of immortality and the law of meteor are in balance. It shows that the laws on the meteor are already quite powerful. If a person of the fifth level of super god, what he masters is only the elemental law of the third echelon. Even if he has 6% control, it can only be tied with the law on the meteor. In this way, it also explains why those who are super gods of the fifth level cannot pass through the secret realm. There were more and more meteors, and they began to hit Lin Moyu one after another, and their power became more and more powerful. Lin Moyu didn't fight back and let the meteor hit him. With white light flashing on his body, Lin Moyu ignored the meteor's attack by virtue of his strong defense. He looked at the meteor, thinking about his inner doubts. It shouldn't be. If you can't even pass the fifth level of Super God, then the third level of Super God is even more impossible. There must be something I haven't noticed, and that's the key to breaking through the secret realm. What the hell am I missing? While Lin Moyu was thinking, more and more meteors fell and hit Lin Moyu like cannonballs. But Lin Moyu is like a mountain and the sea, standing still. Neither dodge nor counterattack. Every time the meteor hits, there will be a little strengthening. The law on the meteor absorbs the force of impact and rebound. Even if Lin Moyu does nothing, their attack power will become stronger and stronger. It won't work if you fight back, and it won't work if you don't fight back. This is also the reason for the failure of many super gods. Lin Moyu observed these meteors. The meteors continued to enlarge in his sight, and the laws above gradually became clear. Finally, Lin Moyu saw some clues. A meteor fell in front of him. Lin Moyu stretched out his hand and grabbed it. The huge power turned into an invisible giant hand, holding on to the meteor firmly. The meteor kept vibrating, struggling desperately. The law on the meteor is shining, and every struggle will absorb a little force, so that the impact force of the meteor will increase rapidly. Lin Moyu ignored its struggle and caught another shooting star. Then the two meteors collided abruptly. Boom! Two kinds of meteors with the same law and similar tenacity collide. The laws did not merge with each other, but began to absorb each other's strength. Two obviously similar meteors are like enemies who have never seen each other, absorbing each other's strength. After only a few seconds, the laws on the two meteors collapsed at the same time. Without the law, the meteor is the most common copper and iron, and it becomes slag when you pinch it casually. I see. Lin Moyu smiled and finally found the right way. It is to let the meteors kill each other. In this way, the meteor mystery realm has become completely harmless. While the meteor had just fallen and hadn't become stronger, it had already been wiped out by Lin Moyu. After knowing the method, dozens of skeletons surrounded Lin Moyu and acted as catchers. They catch the meteor one after another, and then knock the meteor together. Lin Moyu became the hands-off shopkeeper again. Walked to the deepest part of the secret realm with ease, and saw a huge round ball. The diameter of the ball is about 100 meters, and it is a super-sized meteor. I don't know if it is because of the big reason, but its flying speed is extremely slow. Meteors kept flying over and falling on it in the sky. The law on it is more powerful. It absorbs all the meteors flying over and strengthens its own strength. This is equivalent to the boss in the copy. Lin Moyu looked thoughtful. The entire meteor secret realm is very similar to the dungeon he has experienced. Ordinary meteors are small monsters, but the large meteor in front of him is the boss. The way to deal with the little monsters has been found, but the way to deal with the boss is still unknown. Deal with it directly with the law of undead. Obviously not working. Even against the small meteors in the late stage of the secret realm, the law of immortality with only 2% control seems powerless. Not to mention dealing with this boss level, the law of immortality will definitely not have any effect. What about storming? This idea was immediately rejected. Strength is definitely not enough. It will only increase the opponent's strength. And the other party is constantly absorbing the law of the small meteor, which is already very strong. It seems to have discovered the existence of Lin Moyu, and this large meteor flew towards Lin Moyu. Its speed is not fast, but it has a strong suction force, which firmly sucks Lin Moyu, making it difficult for Lin Moyu to escape. Lin Moyu didn't run away either, but stood there motionless, letting the big meteor hit him. Boom! Amidst the loud noise and strong explosion, the secret realm vibrated abnormally. The large meteor was ejected and flew nearly 10,000 meters away. The force of the impact is quite astonishing, almost reaching the 8th level of Super God. If it is replaced by an ordinary strong person, I am afraid that it will be smashed to pieces. Even if he didn't die, he would at least end up seriously injured. The suction on the large meteor is not weak, and it has the ability to lock the soul. Once it is targeted, it is difficult to escape. Lin Moyu knew that many people, even if they reached the deepest part of the secret realm, would be defeated by this large meteor. His own defense is strong, so he can ignore the large meteor. But the problem is, I can't do anything about it myself. The large meteor hit again. It was another explosion that shook the entire secret realm, and the large meteor was sent flying again. Lin Moyu suddenly noticed that Yingxian meteor didn't seem to be getting stronger. From the first time I saw it just now, to now. It absorbed at least a dozen small meteors, and hit itself twice, but it didn't become stronger at all. It's at its limit. The law is the limit. Lin Moyu is aware of this. The force absorbed by the law has a limit. His eyes flickered, and he thought of a possibility. Since it can't be enhanced, then try to see if it can be weakened. Fusion technique, Skeleton General. Accompanied by gusts of wind, the gray-white law of immortality rolled out. Hundreds of skeleton gods who have integrated the law of immortality will come out in response. They flew up immediately, rushed into the air, and firmly grasped the little meteor. The little meteor vibrated violently in the hands of the skeleton god general, and each vibration could absorb some power, making them stronger. The skeleton god will hold on to them until the meteor absorbs enough power. If one skeleton god can't be caught, then 2 or 3 will do it together. Anyway, the skeleton god will have what he wants, and I will have as little as I want. The little meteors in the late stage of the secret realm are much stronger than the little meteors when they first entered the secret realm. Their laws are enough to absorb the power equivalent to the 5th level of super gods. In a blink of an eye, Lin Moyu produced dozens of small meteors that had grown to the limit. Then the skeleton god will grab the small meteor and hit the large meteor. The roar continued to sound, and violent explosions occurred on the large meteor. Lin Moyu found that the laws of the two are cancelling each other out. After dozens of explosions, the large meteor was visibly weakened by a large circle, and its size also shrunk a lot. Efficient. Lin Moyu was overjoyed, knowing that he had found the right method. Let the small meteor be strengthened to the limit first, and then it can cause damage to the large meteor. Use small monsters to fight boss. This mystery is a bit interesting. It's easy to find a way. Thousands of skeleton gods will come out, to embrace little meteor. A game of small meteors smashing big meteors begins. In the secret realm, the explosion is as gorgeous as fireworks. A few minutes later, the large meteor exploded completely in an explosion. An alert sounded. The 97 Meteor Secret Realm mission is completed. You can return to the mission center to receive the corresponding rewards. Reminder, please don't disclose the strategy of the secret realm. Any form of disclosure will be considered a violation of the rules and will be punished by Renwang Network. Lin Moyu was taken aback for a moment, and he was not allowed to reveal the political path. No wonder there are a lot of people around outside, not knowing what to do. People who have passed through the secret realm before can't speak at all. Lin Moyu didn't leave the secret realm, but was summing up. This secret realm can be accessed with level 2 authority, which belongs to the novice secret realm. The secret realm is completely virtualized by Renwang Network, and there is no real danger. Even if it fails, it will have no effect. And it can be repeated many times. In the secret realm, the observation ability will be tested at the beginning to see if you can find the corresponding method. In the end, besides finding a method, he also needs to have enough strength to train little meteor to the limit. Only in this way can it cause damage to large meteors and pass through the border. If one's own strength is not enough to cultivate the small meteor to the limit, then the damage to the big meteor will be extremely limited. It's even useless at all, so it's impossible to talk about passing through the secret realm. Lin Moyu feels that the biggest purpose of the existence of the Human Emperor Network is to cultivate the strongest for the human race. Now through Meteor Secret Realm, this is even more affirmed. Meteor Secret Realm not only tests judgment and wisdom, but also tests strength and control. All aspects cannot be too bad. It is possible to pass the Meteor Secret Realm. After Lin Moyu figured it out, he left the Secret Realm and appeared outside the Secret Realm. As soon as he came outside, Lin Moyu felt countless pairs of eyes staring at him firmly. Renwang Network is almost exactly the same as the real world, and all the senses and feelings in the real world are available here. Being surrounded by people was very uncomfortable. Lin Moyu wanted to leave. Brother Lin. But someone was faster and had already come to Lin Moyu and greeted him warmly. Lin Moyu does not have a name, and everyone present can check his name. The man was very familiar, with a smile all over his face, and he looked very kind. Brother Lin, don't worry, we have no malicious intentions. He also did not hide his identity, and Lin Moyu could see his basic information. Jin Feng, Super God Level 5. Lin Moyu responded politely, Senior Jin, what's the matter? Jin Feng put on a smiling face. Brother Lin, we are just curious, how did you achieve the first level of Super God, and you have the second level of authority? Lin Moyu hesitated for a moment, but did not answer directly. Regarding his potential evaluation, he does not intend to tell others casually. Jin Feng seemed to realize that he had asked questions that he shouldn't have asked, prying into other people's privacy, and breaking the unspoken rules of the human race. He patted his mouth lightly, with an apologetic expression on his face. Look at my mouth, it doesn't mean that. We just want to say that you are only at the first level of Super God, and you are not enough to complete the task of Meteor Secret Realm. Although this secret realm can be entered repeatedly, in fact, each person only has 10 chances. After 10 times, the task will fail, and there is no way to get rewards. So Brother Lin, don't waste any chance, you can discuss with us how to break through this secret realm. Jin Feng chatted a lot, in a very earnest tone. Looking at the expressions of other people, they are also very friendly. Lin Moyu can feel the sincerity of everyone. In the big world, the human race is very united. In fact, it is difficult for a race that is not united to survive in the big world. For countless years, some disunited races have paid the price in blood. Once upon a time, the human race had a similar history, and civil wars broke out. The human race at that time was not weak, but also belonged to the strong race. However, a civil war caused heavy casualties to the race, especially the loss of the top powerhouses, and other races seized the opportunity. During that period of time, the human race also paid the price in blood and almost disappeared from the big world. Almost all of the 4 major star regions were disabled. The enemy's weapons have reached the central city of God. If Yangshan City is captured and the human race's divine path is cut off, then the human race will also be obliterated from the great world. It was there that Xiao Zhangshan was born out of nowhere and tried his best to turn the tide. He quelled the civil strife, led the soldiers of the human race, killed the alien race, and took back all the 4-star regions. One invincible record after another has established his identity as the god of war. Since then, the human race has learned from the painful experience and has become extremely united. Personal grievances are allowed, but large-scale infighting is not allowed. If there is any personal grievance, then go to the ring to resolve it. You can go to the arena in Renwang Network, or you can go to the arena in reality. But when you leave the arena, you must clean up your hatred, and you are not allowed to care about it. The top leaders of the human race have clearly realized that disunity means death. Lin Moyu likes this feeling. The same is true for small worlds. Seeing that Lin Moyu didn't speak, Jin Feng continued to smile. Brother Lin, don't worry, we really have no malicious intentions. You should know that our human race is still very united. Let's discuss it together, there is no harm. Following Jin Feng's words, others also said, that's right, let's discuss together. This Meteor Secret Realm is still a bit troublesome. 1 person counts the short, and 3 people count the long. With so many of us, we can definitely think of a way. Lin Moyu smiled. No, I've already passed. Ah. Jin Feng was stunned, looking at Lin Moyu with disbelief in his eyes. It's impossible. Quote. Others also don't quite believe how it is possible to pass the first level of Super God. Many people felt that Lin Moyu was talking big, and a trace of disdain flashed in his eyes. In most people's perception, people who talk big are not advisable. Jin Feng looked slightly disappointed. Brother Lin, stop joking. Lin Moyu opened his palm, and on his palm was a shrunken, ACDD, shooting star. This is also a proof of completion of the task. Seeing little meteor, Jin Feng was stunned on the spot. His expression was slightly exaggerated. Brother Lin, did you really pass? Lin Moyu hummed, yes. It's a pity that the rules are limited, so I can't tell you how to pass. Not only Jin Feng saw the shooting star on Lin Moyu's palm, but everyone else saw it too. The look of contempt for Lin Moyu earlier disappeared without a trace. A person hangs his head, feeling a little ashamed. Lin Moyu is not talking big at all, but really passed. Look at Lin Moyu's level again, the secret realm that can be passed by the first level of Super God, but I can't pass it. This is embarrassing, so embarrassing. Super Gods always want face, and I can't afford to lose this person. Jin Feng is not only familiar, but also thick-skinned. Brother Lin, I know you can't tell, but can you tell us some points to pay attention to? To be honest, I've made it to Lao Jin 6 times, and my chances are running out. Lin Moyu also said sincerely, Senior Jin's strength is enough, but he didn't find the right method. All I can say is look carefully, strength is as important as method. It's useless to discuss it here, it's better to go into the secret realm and take a good look. That's all I can say, and I can't say the rest. Jin Feng nodded. Jin understands. Thank you, Senior Jin, for your understanding. I will hand in the task first. After speaking, Lin Moyu started teleportation and disappeared. Jin Feng looked at the entrance of the secret realm, thoughtful in his eyes. Lin Moyu. He repeated Lin Moyu's name over and over and kept it firmly in his memory. He feels that Lin Moyu is very unusual. The first level Super God can get the second level authority, and can complete the task of the Meteor Secret Realm, which has never been seen before. The expressions of other people are also very complicated, each has their own thoughts. Some are ashamed, some are convinced, and some are not. Some people chewed over and over Lin Moyu's last words. Power is as important as method. To observe carefully. Some people seemed to understand something and flew into the secret realm. Jin Feng also realized something and entered the secret realm again. In the blink of an eye, the number of people outside Mimi decreased by 1/3. Teleported back to the mission center of 98 Life Star, Lin Moyu successfully handed in the mission and got 50 points. Originally, there were 1100 points, and 50 points were awarded for completing the task, and 2 points were consumed for sending back and forth. Now there are 1148 points left, which is Lin Moyu's entire fortune. It takes 10,000 points to raise the authority to the third level. On the long march, Lin Moyu has just taken the first step. Lin Moyu checked the task again. Level 2 authority, can move within 20 light years. Within the range of 20 light years, there are not so many missions that can be accepted. Lin Moyu searched for a while, and chose Ren Luo again. Task name, find Spark Gold. Reward, 100 points. Target location, non-living galaxy 128 Suzaku. In the range of 20 light years, in addition to living galaxies, there are also some non-living galaxies. Non-living galaxies are not without life, but some galaxies that are not suitable for the survival of the human race. In fact, the life galaxies that the human race lives today are all transformed by the powerhouses of the human race. In every life galaxy, besides the life planet, there must be a resource planet. In this way, the human race will not lack resources in the process of cultivation, and the cultivation will be smoother. And those non-living galaxies, formed, for a variety of reasons. Some are formed naturally, while others are acquired. When the human race fought in the war, many life galaxies were destroyed and turned into ruins. In the end, there are non-living galaxies that have no transformation value. Even in some non-living galaxies left over from the Great War, many strange things were born. The strong human race cleaned up some of them and left some behind. Over time, these non-living galaxies have become places for the descendants of the human race to do tasks and experience. The mission that Lin Moyu took on this time is a mission in the real world. It is also a second-level task. The second-level task in Renwang's network will not have task danger, at most it will fail the task. Therefore, the rewards for the second-level tasks in Renwang network will be less than those in reality. Generally speaking, it will be about twice as small. This is the case for Lin Moyu's mission this time, the same second-level mission. The reward reached 100 points. Although there will be some dangers, the second-level tasks correspond to the 6th level of Super Gods. No matter how dangerous it is, there is nowhere to go. After Lin Moyu accepted the task, he first checked the information about the non-living galaxy Suzaku 128. In Renwang network, many materials are free. Only some confidential information will be charged. The corresponding authority can view the corresponding information. The non-living galaxy Suzaku 128 is 5 light-years away from the living galaxy 98. It used to be a complete galaxy, and some life forms similar to fire elements lived in the galaxy. But in a great war, this galaxy was smashed and completely destroyed. The stars inside exploded to pieces, setting the entire galaxy on fire. The fire continued to burn for tens of thousands of years before it was extinguished, but it was not completely extinguished. In the flames a material called spark gold was born. Dark gold possesses the power of the law of the fire element, and is a good refining material. The mission this time is to get spark gold, which requires at least 10 katis. 10 katis of spark gold is about the size of a fist. It is not difficult to find Xinhua gene. What is more difficult is the Xinhua beast that is associated with Xinhua gene. Every piece of spark gold will be accompanied by a star fire beast, and if you want to get the spark gold, you must kill the star fire beast. The information also specifically states that in the non-living galaxy Suzaku 128, special attention should be paid to sparks. Sparks are left over from the explosion of a star that year. Not completely extinguished, still exists in the galaxy. Sparks can cause huge damage to the body and soul, so extra attention should be paid. After Lin Moyu wrote down all the requirements, he left Renwang network. I found the nearest teleportation array, and spent 1 point to teleport to the Suzaku Galaxy 128. In reality and in the Renwang network, the transmission fee is the same. Within 10 light-years, that is 1 cent. Hundreds of millions of streamers flashed in front of his eyes. Lin Moyu seemed to see countless stars going away. The speed of 1 light-year per second is extremely fast. The body feels the pressure from the transmission. The pressure is not small, only the super god level can bear it. Lin Moyu understands why if he is less than the super god level, he cannot get the first level authority, and he can't even use the teleportation array. The huge pressure brought by the teleportation between galaxies is enough to crush half-step Chaoshan into pieces. So the super god level is the real threshold. The teleportation in reality is still somewhat different from that in Renwang network. In Renwang's network, there is no pressure brought by the teleportation array. After 5 seconds, the teleportation stops. Lin Moyu walked out from the teleportation array. The strong human race built a huge teleportation array on the outskirts of the non-living galaxy 128 of Suzaku. After Lin Moyu came out of the teleportation array, he had to go to the interior of the galaxy by himself. The galaxies are right in front of us. They look very close, but they are actually very far away. Lin Moyu unfolded his undead wings, agitated his soul power, and flew with all his might. After a few minutes of flying, Lin Moyu had to stop. The distance between himself and the galaxy has only been shortened by an insignificant bit. At this speed, he would have to fly at full power for at least 10 days before he could reach the interior of the galaxy. Lin Moyu thought of an old saying, Wangshan ran dead horse. Now he is looking at the stars, wanting to fly himself to death. Lin Moyu stopped and summoned the Jushan fortress. The god of execution fortress is now shrunk into a tower shape, which looks exactly like the Galei Tower. Lin Moyu entered the Galei Pagoda. The soul communicates with the core, and the soul power is continuously injected into it. Layers of lightning appeared outside the Jushan fortress, and disappeared into the starry sky in the next second. Lin Moyu saw the galaxy approaching him. The speed is too fast, far surpassing his own undead wings. No wonder Antares wants to let himself take away the god-killing fortress. I didn't expect it to be so useful for traveling. Lin Moyu roughly calculated that the speed of Jushan fortress was about 100 times faster than that of undead wings. If this continues, it will take less than 2 hours to enter the galaxy. Lin Moyu's soul power was continuously consumed, the giant talent tree swayed in his soul, and the hanging branches touched Lin Moyu lightly. Huge soul power was continuously passed on, replenishing Lin Moyu's consumption. Although the speed of consumption is very fast, the speed of replenishment of the talent giant tree is faster, and it can completely keep up. With Lin Moyu's current soul power, although it is not enough to fully exert the combat power of the god-killing fortress. But it's more than enough for traveling. The God Execution Fortress turned into a bolt of lightning, flying in the dark starry sky. 2 hours later, Jushin Fortress flew into the non-life galaxy 128 of Suzaku. The Jushin Fortress stopped, and Lin Moyu felt unusually hot as soon as he left the Shenshin Fortress. It's a very high temperature, at least 30,000 degrees. Seemingly icy galaxies devoid of stars. Without light, it should have been extremely cold. But this place is extremely hot, full of fire elements everywhere. In the line of sight, I saw many shattered stars. Lin Moyu can clearly feel that there is still a terrifying high temperature inside these broken stars. The dark exterior does not match the interior at all. After the star was blown up, raging flames burned in the galaxy for thousands of years. In the end, the galaxy that is now extremely dilapidated is left behind. Lin Moyu chose the biggest star nearby and flew over. The stars were shattered, leaving less than a third, but they were still very large. Lin Moyu feels that it is bigger than the small world he used to live in. It is conceivable that it was once a very huge star. Such a huge star, perhaps spark gold will appear. Lin Moyu doesn't care about the Starfire Beast that is associated with Starfire Gold. The Super God level Starfire Beast can't hurt itself. Just about to fall, suddenly there was a burst of souls. My friend, wait a moment. Lin Moyu saw 3 people flying towards him. They seemed to be behind the stars before, but I didn't see them. 2 people, a man and a woman. There is no hidden basic information, and the strength is the Super God Sidaichuan. Because of the existence of Renwan Network, the world and Renwan Network can communicate with each other to a certain extent. In addition, the other party did not hide the information. Lin Moyu saw the names of the 2. Jiang Jiyuan, Jiang Jiyu. Looking at the names, they should be 2 siblings. Both of them are of the 4th level of super gods, and their appearance is also somewhat similar. There is no doubt that they are indeed 2 brothers and sisters. Although the human race is united, some dark little things still happen occasionally. Lin Moyu did not take it lightly. The 2 stopped 100 meters away from Lin Moyu. Jiang Jiyuan said with the voice of his soul, "Junior brother Lin, are you here to find Xinghuo-jin?" Lin Moyu nodded slightly. "Brother Jiang, what's the matter?" Jiang Jiyuan seemed to be kind enough to remind, "Junior brother Lin, you are only at the 1st level of Super God, and it will be dangerous if you continue like this. Whether it's Xinghuo or Xinghuo Beast, they may kill you." Lin Moyu couldn't hear good or evil from his tone. However, the other party was quite polite, 090, and Lin Moyu didn't want to turn against him. "Thank you brother Jiang for reminding me, I have the power to protect myself." Jiang Jiyuan chuckled, trying to reveal a smile. "There is indeed spark gold down there, but there are also spark beasts. That Starfire Beast is the 4th order super god, but it is stronger than the ordinary 4th order super god. We 2 brothers and sisters joined forces, and we can only draw with it. If junior brother Lin can help, maybe he can successfully get the spark gold." The sparkle in Lin Moyu's eyes flickered slightly. "I'm only a super god, what can I do to help?" Jiang Jiyuan smiled. "I have a formation here, and it takes 3 people to activate it. The formation can gather the power of the 3 of us, and then the formation can be amplified, which is enough to hit a super god level 5 attack, which should be able to kill the Starfire Beast. Even if it can't be killed, it will be severely damaged." Then Jiang Jiyuan quickly added, "The Xinghuo gold it guards weighs at least 50 jin. Our brother and sister are also here to complete the task, and only need 10 jin of it." Lin Moyu looked at Jiang Jiyuan, as if analyzing whether what he said was true. Jiang Jiyuan's younger sister, although Jiang Jiyu's appearance is not as good as Gu Qingshuan's, and her own wives, she is still a beauty. From the beginning, she was silent. Until now, she suddenly said, "Mother-in-law, are you a man?" Jiang Jiyu's tone was very aggressive, like a young lady. "Yuea, don't be unreasonable." Jiang Jiyuan stopped Jiang Jiyu. Jiang Jiyu snorted, "Is there something wrong with me? What is the status of our Jiang family? How could we harm him? Look at his appearance, he doesn't trust us at all." Lin Moyu whispered, "Mongo." He really hadn't heard of it. Jiang Jiyu puffed out her chest. With a proud face, "Suzaku Starfield, Life Galaxy number 100, God King Jiang's family. Go and find out, what is the reputation of our Jiang family in dozens of nearby galaxies." Jiang Jiyuan glared at Jiang Jiyu, and shouted angrily, "Yuea, stop talking." Then he hastily saluted Lin Moyu, "Junior brother Lin, I'm sorry. Sister, she has a bad temper, please forgive me. If junior brother Lin is unwilling, we will not force it." Lin Moyu is not afraid, after all, with his defensive power, even if he encounters the first or second level of the true God, he doesn't need to be afraid. It's just that he was thinking about some of his own problems. Now that Jiang Jiyu was so angry, he felt that it was all right. The elder brother Jiang Jiyuan has a relatively deep personality, and he can't tell the truth or falsehood of happiness or anger. But Jiang Jiyu obviously has no capital. What he said just now is also true. Lin Moyu said, Lin was thinking about something else just now, sorry. Brother Jiang's invitation, Lin agreed, and after the matter is completed, Lin only needs 10 catties of spark gold. A gleam of joy flashed in Jiang Jiwan's eyes. Jiang always keeps his word. We brothers and sisters will each take 10 catties, and the rest will belong to junior brother Lin. Junior brother Lin, I'm afraid there are some things that I'm not too clear about. Apart from handing in this task, Xinghuo has other uses. Lin Moyu was slightly taken aback. Can I use it to refine weapons? Jiang Jiyuan chuckled. Not only that, let's deal with the Starfire Beast first, and then tell junior brother Lin after it's done. Jiang Jiyuan made a fool of himself, but Lin Moyu didn't follow up. Under the leadership of Jiang Jiyuan, the three of them flew into the stars. The closer to the star, the higher the temperature. Even super gods feel uncomfortable in this high-temperature environment exceeding 10,000 degrees. In Jiang Jiyu's jet black hair, a jade hairpin shone brightly, insulating it from the heat. The surge of laws on Jiang Jiwan's body also cut off the heat. Lin Moyu didn't move at all. It seemed to be unaware of the high fever. Lin Moyu is immune to all damage caused by fire elements. For him, the high temperature is only slightly uncomfortable, and the rest is useless. Jiang Jiyuan glanced at Lin Moyu, slightly surprised. What's wrong? Lin Moyu caught Jiang Jiwan's eyes. Jiang Jiyuan shook his head. Junior brother Lin is very human. Lin Moyu asked strangely, how can you see that? Super God Level 1, Level 2 Authority. Jiang Xing said very briefly. Lin Moyu thought of Jin Feng saying something similar. It seems that I only have the first level of Super God, but I have a second level of Authority, which seems a bit abrupt. But there is no way to do this, and upgrading is not something you can upgrade if you want to. He needs to have some understanding of the law. He is still a little away from the second level of Super God. If there is no accident, it will take some time to be promoted. Lin Moyu smiled, but did not answer. Jiang Jiyuan didn't ask further. Jiang Jiyu frowned. How did you do it? Lin Moyu didn't answer. Jiang Jiyuan sipped again. Don't pry into other people's privacy. Jiang Jiyu snorted. I'll just ask what's wrong. To become a super god, the age of the country will not be too young. Lin Moyu estimates that Jiang Jiyu is at least 100 years old. Why this character, like a teenage child? It seems that when I was 18 years old, I was much calmer than her. Jiang Jiyuan said with a hint of apology, I'm sorry, Ms. She was spoiled by her family. Ms. She has been practicing at home since she was born, and she doesn't have much contact with the outside world. Lin Moyu smiled and expressed understanding. If this character is not restrained, it may offend some people in the future. But Lin Moyu won't say it. After all, this is not her sister, so it's none of her business. Under the leadership of Jiang Jiyuan, the three quickly found the Xinghuo gold location. This is a broken valley. A faint fire could be seen outside the valley. At the same time, Lin Moyu also felt a strong fire element law. Jiang Jiyuan said, the Starfire Gold is inside, and the Starfire Beast is also there. After entering in a while, I will activate the formation disk, and the formation disk will be divided into triangles. We only need to stand on 3 corners, and the formation will automatically integrate our strength into one. Once the formation is completed, the attack power of the 5th order super god can be exploded. Jiang Jiyuan took out a palm-sized jade plate as he spoke. The jade plate recorded complex formations, which is what he called the formation plate. It was Lin Moyu's first time to see the array, and he seemed a little curious. Jiang Jiyu snorted, you bumpkin, you haven't even seen a formation disk, have you? If you do this again, I won't take you out next time. Jiang Jiyuan shouted angrily, making Jiang Jiyu tremble with fright, and stopped talking. Then Jiang Jiyuan apologized to Lin Moyu again. Lin Moyu took a deep look at Jiang Jiyu. Don't be an example. There was a bit of coldness in the voice. Although Lin Moyu didn't want to kill her yet, if it happened again, Lin Moyu didn't mind teaching her a lesson. Jiang Jiyu was dissatisfied and wanted to refute, but was stared back by Jiang Jiyuan. She pouted and snorted angrily. Entering the valley, turning a corner, Lin Moyu saw the Starfire Beast. The Starfire Beast looks like a lion, a burnt lion. The body presents a strange transparency, a bit like a transparent crystal. The body is covered with light spots, which looks like sparks that are not extinguished. Dark gold is behind it, a piece of metal that grows on the earth. Just the part exposed to the ground weighed more than 20 kilograms. The underground part, I don't know how many there are. Jiang Jiyuan wasn't talking nonsense, it was enough for 3 people. Seeing the 2 brothers and sisters Jiang Jiyuan, the Starfire Beast immediately became vigilant. The sparks all over his body glowed brightly, and then bright flames rose up. At this moment, the Star Beast turned into a flame lion. It roared towards Jiang Jiyuan, and assumed a fighting posture. Jiang Jiyuan's 2 brothers and sisters should have fought against it before, obviously the Starfire Beast has already held a grudge against them. Jiang Jiyuan stretched out his palms and activated the array. Junior brother Lin, get ready. The formation plate was activated and enlarged instantly, forming a large formation. There are 3 vacancies on the formation, just enough for 3 people to stand. According to what was discussed in advance, the 3 of them stood in their respective positions. The soul force was injected into the formation, and the entire formation was activated immediately, and started to operate with a roaring sound. The formation brought the strength of the 3 people together, and then strengthened it in a way that Lin Moyu didn't understand. A sharp sword appeared in the center of the formation. The sharp sword exuded a sharp aura, and it had indeed reached the 5th level of Super God. 2 super gods of the 4th level, 1 super god of the 1st level, and part of the soul power to activate the formation, can exert the attack power of the 5th level of super gods. Arrays are miraculous, always able to accomplish some incredible things. Jiang Jiyuan pointed at the Starfire Beast 100 meters away, and shouted, "Cut!" The sharp sword flew out with a swish, and suddenly turned into a sword in the midair, and a sword energy hundreds of meters long slashed out. The ground cracked, and the Starfire Beast screamed in the sword energy. The voice of the soul oscillated back and forth in the starry sky. Lin Moyu watched with his own eyes that the Xinghuo Beast was severely injured by the sword energy, and its body was almost cut off. This sword didn't kill it, it just severely wounded it. With madness, the Starfire Beast rushed towards the 3 of them with flames rising from its whole body. In the flames, the wounds on the Starfire Beast are recovering rapidly. Jiang Jiyuan's fingers changed again, and the sword energy turned back, chop. The second sword burst out with energy, stronger than before. There was a trace of fear in the Starfire Beast's eyes, and its body changed its angle suddenly, rolling away to the side. The sword energy almost slashed against the Starfire Beast and landed on the ground. The ground burst open, and a bottomless crack was cut out. Flames flew out of it, like a volcano erupting. The core of the star has not cooled, and the temperature is still hot. Although the Starfire Beast avoided it, it didn't completely avoid it. The newly recovered body was hit hard again. After being hit hard, not only did it not retreat, but it became more fierce. With a growl, it sucked hard. The flames ejected from the earth were sucked into its belly, its wounds healed quickly, and its breath became stronger. Jiang Jiyuan didn't stop, his expression was dignified, and his gesture changed again, 3 chops. The third sword fell, and the sword energy increased again, comparable to the sum of the first 2 swords, and the sword's momentum was faster than before. The Xinghuo Beast couldn't dodge this sword, and was directly engulfed by the sword energy. Lin Moyu watched it be cut into nothingness by the sword energy, its true figure. From the beginning to the end of the 3 swords, the Starfire Beast didn't hit the 3 of them. This short distance of 100 meters has become a natural moat. The sharp sword returned, Jiang Jiyuan withdrew the formation, and heaved a long sigh of relief. Fortunately, it's resolved, otherwise I'm afraid I won't be able to cut the 4th sword. His breath seemed a little vain. As the leader of the formation, the 3 swords just now consumed a lot of power. If you want to cut out the 4th sword, you may have to overdraw. Jiang Jiyu was slightly better, but she was also consumed, not as good as in her heyday. Only Lin Moyu, like nothing happened. When the formation was activated just now, a lot of soul power was indeed consumed, but the giant tree of talent replenished it on the spot. Seeing Lin Moyu's calm appearance, Jiang Jiyuan couldn't help being a little surprised. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, the formation is good. Jiang Jiyu snorted. Of course my Jiang family's formation is easy to use, otherwise, this three-talented sword formation would require 3 people to use, so where would it be? Shut up. Before she could finish her sentence, Jiang Jiyuan stopped her. His tone was harsher than before. From the previous shut up to shut up. A word difference, but has a completely different meaning. Jiang Jiyu snorted and turned her head angrily. Jiang Jiyuan turned to Lin Moyu and said, Junior brother Lin, the Starfire beast has been dealt with, we can go to get the Starfire gold now. According to the previous agreement, we brothers and sisters will each take 10 catties, and the rest will be yours. Lin Moyu glanced at Jiang Jiyu indifferently. Your sister, do you have any objections? Jiang Jiyuan said repeatedly, I have the final say on this matter. Lin Moyu nodded with a smile and walked towards Xinghua. Jiang Jiyuan looked at Lin Moyu's background before he relaxed. Just a moment ago, he felt an extremely dangerous aura from Lin Moyu. This level of danger far exceeds that of the Starfire beast, making him feel chills all over his body. He felt that if Lin Moyu wanted to do something, his brother and sister would probably die here. Jiang Jiyu wanted to say something, but Jiang Jiwan's eyes were extremely sharp, and he motioned her to shut up and not to say anything. The 3 of them came to Xinghuojin. Xinghuojin looked like a piece of red-hot iron, exuding scorching heat. Lin Moyu looked at the Xinghua gold, and did not take it directly, but asked, Senior brother Jiang, now can we talk about the other uses of the Xinghua gold? Jiang Jiyuan didn't hide it. Spark gold has 5 uses. One is this mission, and the other is that it can be used for training equipment. Even if you don't use it, you can also sell points or exchange for other materials and items. Thirdly, the law of fire element is contained in Spark Gold, and the law of fire element can be comprehended through Spark Gold. Fourth, if you don't comprehend it yourself, you can also extract the laws from it and add it to the 597 of the corresponding fire-type spells, greatly increasing the power of the fire-type spells. Fifth, and the use that many people don't know, Spark Gold can temper the soul world and improve the quality of the soul world. Lin Moyu is aware of the first 3 uses. The 4th type, although I just heard about it, I can figure it out. Everyone can master many spells, and there are many types of spells, which may belong to different departments. There are only 1 or 2 types of laws that ordinary people can comprehend, and it is difficult to take care of the attributes of all spells. Perhaps the laws of comprehension are of physics, but the spells are of fire. In this way, the bonus effect of the law on the spell is minimal. If the fire element law in Xinghuo Jinli is extracted and added to the spell alone, then the power of the spell can be greatly improved. This is the 4th use, which opened up a new way of thinking for Lin Moyu. Not only Xinghuo Gold can do this, but many other materials can also do this. As for the 5th type, temper the soul with the flames in the Spark Gold. It sounds reasonable, but how effective it is unknown. Lin Moyu asked, how many souls can be tempered? Jiang Jiyuan said, 2nd rank, the quality of the soul of the 2nd rank can be improved to a certain extent. Lin Moyu's eyes were slightly disappointed. Originally it was only the 2nd district. I am already the soul of the peak of the 3rd rank, and this function of Spark Gold is useless to me. But think about it, Spark Gold is only a super god level material, and it is very rare to have this effect.